So, as you can see, we're back here with Mr. James Lovette. He put out this video, I guess, a year ago. I know it says January 1st on his recording device, but the video was posted to his YouTube channel a year ago anyway. So this is him talking about how to authenticate a birth certificate. And I apologize for the flickering screen behind him, but James, you really need to learn how to do some video editing here, because that is really annoying and I got a headache. So I'm going to get a headache again for you guys. So here he is talking about authenticating a birth certificate, which is a real thing. It sounded kind of weird to me, but there it is, same website that he's talking about on his in the video. So yeah, it is real. You can do it. And I'm in Canada, so in Canada it's just a matter of going down to your local notary public and having it notarized. But in the United States, this particular process apparently is real. So it's not necessarily what he's talking about that I want to discuss or point out. It's the words that he uses and what he's implying when he's using them. So let's start with watching the video here.
Bad Wolf. What's going on, guys? I want to thank everybody out there who have been supporting the channel. We are almost at 3,000 subscribers. That is fantastic.
He's at about 10,000 now.
Just to catch you guys up, it's been about 30 days and I haven't posted any videos, only because normal stuff, I've been working. To answer a couple of questions of the people out there, how come I don't answer all the comments in the YouTube comment section? I don't have time. If I answered everybody's every single question, I just wouldn't have it, because I work for a living, and well, I don't make any money off.
I don't know if that was a dig at his viewers, because I mean, I'm not saying sovereign citizens are necessarily like lazy. There's no evidence to that. The subset of First Amendment auditors, now there's some laziness, because that's how they make their money, is going out and bothering police and the public and stuff. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about James. So let's continue.
Of YouTube monetization, because I haven't selected that. Not that I can't.
Which is ridiculous, James, because I mean, you've got followers. You clearly have got enough subscribers. You you more than likely have the watch time, so why shouldn't you monetize your channel? It's just another revenue stream for you. Yeah, it's just be stupid. I mean, everybody wants to have a monetized YouTube channel, including me.
I just know it's annoying to have commercials in there, so I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible for you guys. Alright, so thanks for all those who've been supporting. Thank you for those donations out there. Thank you for people following the steps. And that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so this particular video is going to be about how to authenticate the birth certificate. Okay, now if you watched any of my other videos, which I always suggest going back and looking at the old information, because it's still relevant. Just because it hasn't, I'm not making it from here forward or doing like some people, copying the same videos I have and then just redoing them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to rehash what I already have. If something new comes along, I'll do that. So check the old videos and find your answers. Alright, so the birth certificate is different than the certificate of live birth. The certificate of live birth is issued from the hospital of your state and proves that you are a living being. When you are
it proves that your particular birth actually physically took place. That's what a certificate of live birth is. I mean, no secret there.
Parents, or for you who have kids and you do this as well, shame on you for that, but you apply for your child's certificate of, or birth certificate, that's what makes you a federal employee. It's actually an application to be brought into that and to be turned into a person, which is an artificial entity, which is your straw man, which is your corporate version of you, your trust, however you want to look at it and say it. Um,
All of that is sovereign citizen doctrine, um, that you are at the moment of your birth or at the time of your birth, you are basically sold into some kind of indentured servitude into the U.S. government. It's just more ridiculousness.
in other words, the fake version of you, which is why it's in, capitalist Maximus and all capitalized.
That is his attempt at trying to incorporate Latin into his vocabulary. But unfortunately, James Capitalist Maximus is not a word. It's not a phrase. It's nothing. It's meaningless. It means absolutely nothing.
Letters, okay? Because anything in commerce, when they're addressing it, especially property or business, to be underneath their jurisdiction has to be depicted by law in all capitalized letters. So for those people who have been asking me how to authenticate the birth certificate, well, right behind me, some of the information we're going to go over. This particular website is usbirthcertificates.com, but you can just type in how to authenticate a birth certificate in the U.S., and it'll bring you either here or somewhere like that. So now it won't be a long video, but here we go.
So the information that he gives in the rest of this is actually pretty run of the mill. Nothing terribly unusual about it. It's a real thing. You can do this. You can follow the instructions. The difference is some countries out there require that or say that a passport is not sufficient to prove your identity. So you need to provide a birth certificate or certificate of live birth and have it notarized or authenticated. And that is perfectly fine. There's a difference between non-Hague and Hague Convention countries. Those countries that have signed on to the Hague Convention have agreed that I believe that their travel documents will conform, whereas non-Hague Convention countries, they said we're not doing that. So yes, it is a real thing. By all means, go right ahead and do it. But I also want to talk about what he was talking when he was. Shoot, I've lost the article. Right, here it is. This is what he was talking about. This is an abstract of an article that was posted to the Stockholm University in 2020. Here is the bibliography. Okay. This basically outlines the sovereign citizen thing. I'll just start at the top here. The idea of birth certificate enslavement is a conspiracy theory situated in North America. So that's Canada, US, and Mexico. Yay! And spread through the internet. It is connected to, among other things, the sovereign citizen movement. There are examples of the conspiracy spreading with active activists, which Mr. James here is one of those active activists. In Europe, among other countries, or other parts of the world. According to believers, the creating of a birth certificate starts the life of an evil administrative doppelganger to the newly born, a corporate shell. This corporate shell is then sold by the state to foreign investors as a form of financial security. One of the administrative proofs of this, according to believers of the conspiracy theory, is that birth certificate is written in, the birth certificate is written in capital letters, and that bond papers and watermarks are used. This part of the conspiracy theory, or the proof in the design of the proof in the design of the administrative document is connected to an interpretation of maritime law that the sympathizers believe are valid regarding birth certificates. To analyze this conspiracy, three research questions have been used, and the rest of the article, the rest of the abstract, just details what the methodology used to investigate this. I'll post a link to this in the description, and you guys can have a look at it and see if you can find any more information. But that's all I was able to find on the birth certificate issue thing that he talks about. Another thing that he mentions, I can't seem to recall which video it's on, but apparently it stuck in my mind long enough to do a little digging. James talks, he mentions in another video, I guess, because I watched this particular one several times and it's not on this video. But he talks about a U.S. national versus U.S. citizen. And to my surprise, that is something that is real. This is the IMI Help website. I'm not sure what that stands for, but this is where I found the information. But anyway, so what is a U.S. national? All U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but there are some U.S. nationals who are not U.S. citizens. Therefore, this article discusses only U.S. nationals that are not U.S. citizens. Definition: a U.S. national is a person born in or having ties with an outlying possession of the United States, which as of 2019 refers only to American Samoa and Swains Island. Additionally, it also includes those individuals born abroad to two U.S. national parents, or those born abroad to one alien parent and one U.S. national parent. Additionally, there is a residency requirement for the parents of the child prior to birth in order to transmit U.S. nationality. Okay, so what that means, what it's saying is that to be a U.S. national, first of all, if you're born in the United States, then you're automatically a U.S. national. So congratulations, everyone's a U.S. national. Yay! But those people born in American Samoa or Swains Island are not U.S. citizens, they are U.S. nationals. Now, in the past, you got countries like Guam, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, or the Philippines were U.S. nationals. If you were born in those countries during the date specified, you would be considered a U.S. national. Now, there are very few people alive that were born in 1946, 1950, 1917, and 1927. So there's virtually those countries don't really apply anymore. And besides, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are all U.S. citizens already. So those people would be U.S. nationals as well. If they're U.S. citizens, then they're U.S. nationals. But if they were born in American Samoa or Swains Island, then they're U.S. nationals. Oh, I'm sorry, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but those people born in American Samoa and Swains Island are U.S. nationals. So that's it. That's their claim. And they think that being U.S. nationals gives them some kind of freedom that the Constitution doesn't provide. I don't understand. It's really complicated. Obviously, these people, frankly, I think they are suffering from some kind of mass delusion. They don't believe anything that happens or that's based in reality. Their view of the Constitution and American law is simply so skewed that, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, that's this latest video on Mr. Lovette. I will be revisiting him again. He's got lots of videos, lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to investigate this a little further, see if we can maybe get to the bottom of what he's talking about. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.